Hello, my name's John. This is my Watchmaster conversion, and you're watching War Games, Models and Other Hobbies. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be finishing off my Primaris Watchmaster from the Deathwatch. I'll leave a link in the description to part 1 of this video where I get to this stage. Since then I have actually changed one thing, and that is removing the Watchmaster from his left leg and the base. Reason being, I realised that I was going to find it very difficult to paint inside there. So I carefully removed the joint where the glue was so I could have that separate to be able to do some painting later on. Now, the first thing that I'm going to be doing today is creating the right arm and the Watchmaster's weapon, the Vigil Spear, which is very similar to the Custodian's Spear, but I'm going to tweak and adjust that Custodian Spear to make it fit more with what I'm looking at creating. So, first things first, I need to decide what arm I'm going to have on the Watchmaster. So this arm here is the original arm from this captain, and I think I will go with it as the arm because it's going to hold the spear in the correct position that I'm looking for. So what I'm going to need to do is remove this plasma pistol and the hand. I'm going to try and carefully do it in one go, and then I have a separate hand just here. I had a separate hand, there we go, to be the hand holding the rest of the spear. So, first things first, let's take this off. And maybe I'll stop saying first things first, because I don't know how many times I've said it in this video already. So I'm really enjoying this project at the moment. I've had a little bit of time to think about how I want to carry on working on this character, and I am going to do a video of painting it and as many videos as I need to really till it's completed. I am enjoying all of these bits box conversions that I've been working on over the last month or so, and I've got a few more coming from different Space Marine chapters and things that I've been working on. It's quite nice to be able to use up bits that I've been hanging around for years and years, and I can now use them in projects. So let's put some glue on this so the hand can start, sorry, the arm can start to dry in place, so I can work out how I want the spear to go. And for the backpack of this, I am going to use the original backpack from the Space Marine. Whether I stick it on at the moment or not, I'm not too sure, but it will happen at some point. So there we have the arm in place there. So I'm going to start to put together the spear so I can then let that dry and start working out other details that I want to add. So I've got a few things for this. I have the Custodes spear here. I'm going to replace the magazine with this drum magazine. I have what's left of a Deathwing weapon here. I think it's a halberd of Caladan. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to be using this mid part of the spear. And then I also have a part from a conversion I did a while ago for a Genestealer character, but I'm going to use the base of it with that little trigger section. So I'm going to start chopping these up to get the bits that I need out of them, and then we'll have a look and see where to go from there. So I am going to keep some of the form and detail of the Custodes spear and just add a few little bits and pieces. I was actually thinking, let's just bring the character in, of possibly just having the original hand on the spear holding it, but I quite like the position of the actual Watchmaster that you get holding the spear, so I thought, no, I'll tweak and adjust and I'll change a few bits. And what I'm probably going to do is the little trigger, I'll replace the trigger on the base here, and then the rest of that handle is going to go, let's get that in focus for you, the rest of the handle is going to go on the bottom there. So let's just remove the hand. I'm going to need to change my blade soon of my scalpel. Okay, I'm just going to trim the handle off, leave that little circular section on for now, so I can just start working out exactly how this is all going to go together. I may trim, where am I going to trim this? Now, I'm going to trim this halfway here. There we go. So I've got a little bit of choice with how that goes in. And I do have that hand as well that's going to need to go in a specific location to make that work. So before I stick the new bits together, let's sort out this barrel, not the barrel, sorry, the magazine for the bolter on the end. So let's just move those to one side, and let's carefully, so I will replace that blade now. Let's see if I've got a spare one. Do have. So I'm trying to do a lot of these videos without any cuts or edits in them, so you can see how long the conversion process takes. Please let me know if you like that, seeing how long it actually takes, or do you want to see cut down versions, so you're not sitting through the whole thought process that I go through while I'm converting a model. Same with the painting ones. I do quite like the idea of actually showing you how long it takes. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where you get cuts within the video and you don't really get a sense of how long it takes to produce whatever they're working on. So yeah, let me know in the comments if that's the kind of thing that you do like with my channel. I try and keep the videos at full length. Obviously you can skip through them and see the end result. Now I quite like all the detail on this. So we've got the eagle's head, a little bit of detail, and the wing here. I'm probably going to keep that in place. If I do decide to get rid of it, it's just going to be a case of me scraping that off, but that'll be something that I'm going to live with for a little while until I decide what to do with it. So I need to make sure that this is trimmed nice and neatly. And with all these projects I'm working on at the moment, I am looking forward to doing quite a bit of painting in the not too distant future. I do enjoy painting up my conversions. I don't do it as much as I'd like. It's definitely something that I want to get back into doing a lot more. So that's why I'm kind of doing all of my projects at the moment. So I'm kind of finishing things off. So I'm going to get a lot of choice with what I've got for painting. Whoops. What I've got for painting and finishing off and so on. Okay, so there is that drum barrel. I keep saying barrel. Drum magazine, excuse me. On there. So let's let that dry for a little bit and go to the base of the handle. So what I think, I might actually reverse this round. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it takes away a little bit of the Custodes look, and just will change the profile slightly. Let me trim that back. Okay. So then this handle is going to go onto there. So let me trim this back. Okay. Yeah, I like that way around. Let's get this lined up. Okay, so there we have the handle and the gun end of the Vigil Spear. Now, let me trim and tidy up this section, and what I'm going to have to do, I think I'm going to stick it together and then while I let that dry, stick the last few details on the Watchmaster, and then I'm going to trim the handle to fit the hand in the right place. I think that'll go. Let's go for that being. Could go that way around. Go there. Let's have a look. I need to straighten that up slightly. Okay, there we go. While I'm doing this, I'd also like to thank all of the new subscribers that are appearing on this channel. So I do appreciate people taking the time to watch the things that I'm doing in my hobby and commenting as well. I do try and answer as many comments as I get, and I do appreciate that interaction from other hobbyists. So if you're liking what I'm doing, throw it in the comments, and when I get a chance I'll drop you a reply. let's have a quick look on the model. Okay. So I think that's going to end up being about there, so I might swap that over. I should have looked before I did that. Let me quickly whip that off, and I'm going to glue that to this end instead, where the bolter is. And I know I've got mould lines and things dotted around on this model, but that's something for later on for me to tidy up and kind of make sure it's all sorted out before I start the painting process. Okay, let's see, that hand will go there, and yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, I'm just going to set those aside to dry for a bit, and I've got a few details that I need to add to the waist of this Watchmaster. First thing that I'm going to try and do, because I didn't notice this before, obviously because I cut loads of bits away from the model, there's a section on the helmet mounted on the base that doesn't have the pipe going along the side. So I do have, just here, another head, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and slice the pipe away from this one and glue it onto here. I think I mentioned it in the first video. I want to try and do this without using any green stuff. I do use it on a lot of models, but I thought it'd be quite nice to try a project where I don't use it at all, just to show it is possible to create a nice conversion without the need to do any sculpting or anything like that. So first I'm going to shave that next section off. And push comes to shove, I could try and trim that head off and put another one in, but that's not as fun as this. Okay. So I'm gonna carefully cut through this head. So I'm carefully seesawing. I'm not putting too much pressure on the blade, although it might look like it on the video. There we go. Brilliant. So let's now cut this. I've got to be careful. Don't want this flying away, but I've got my safety squint on just in case. Okay. Trim that. Do it this way. Okay. God, it's quite tiny. Let me just grab another model to have a look which way around. Okay, it needs to go that way around. So I'm just going to get this on the tip of my blade so I can see what needs cutting off. Okay, so I need to cut some of the back off, trim the front carefully. Now, would I do this on another model? I'd probably use some green stuff, but as I've already said, I'm not going to use any green stuff on this. Let's see how that fits. Okay, so I now need to cut a smaller amount away from the back of the other side as well. This is a ridiculously tiny bit of plastic, and I really don't want to screw this up. Okay, so let's put a little drop of plastic down there, and let's get that in there. There we go. It's not a perfect fit. Excuse the noise of the dog scratching behind me. You know what? That's okay for this. I can disguise and cover a bit of that up. Worst case scenario, I'll hoik that off if I don't like that in a minute. Anyway, let's carry on with a few bits. So I already have some pouches I want to stick in place. So let's put those in place. Just a little bit of glue to tack it in. Let's try and move that round slightly. I bet I didn't check the back of this if there was a bit of plastic to stop it going in. Hang on, let me take that off quickly. There is a little bit of plastic on the back of there. Always check, because this is designed, I can't remember which kit this was from, but it's designed to clip onto a little hole. There we go. Take that off and let's put a bit more glue in place where I want it. I'm being impatient, and I shouldn't be impatient while I'm doing this. But I have an idea, and I want to. Can I get it done as quickly as possible? Okay, happy with that. Let's run a little bit of glue down that seam. Okay, then on the other side I have that piece. So these are all from different Space Marine Primaris kits. So I'm going to just tack it while it's in place there actually. Yeah, that hides some of the tube that I put on the side of the helmet, so that's okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's run that down the side. Okay, so there's the pouches on the waist. Something I also need to do is when I put on this loincloth, I had to trim off the bottom of that purity seal. And I've got a few purity seals that I can add that bit from. So let's cut off the seal from that one. And put this in place. This is going together. I'm going to say it now and it's all going to go wrong. It's going together relatively easily without any problems. And I've said it now. And if something's going to go wrong, I'll put something on the screen to let you know. Or if I don't put anything on the screen, I'm completely right and it's all gone off without a hitch. Okay, there's that purity seal. Now, I do have a few more little details of things. Very tempted to put some of them on. So, have something like that to go on. I quite like that. So, let's put a bit of glue to tack that in. Actually, no, I'm going to go for that one. I've got another one which has a purity seal on. There we go. Adds a little bit more kind of depth to the front of the model there. Oh, put a bit too much glue there, that's okay. As long as I don't touch it on the leg there, it'll be fine. Okay, I'm happy with that for now. Well, I'm still waiting for things to dry. I might as well take that backpack off and then we'll get that spear in place. Now, one thing you will have noticed, or you might not have noticed, but anyway, right hand shoulder pad still missing. I've got a few ideas for it, but I also wanted it to throw it out there to anyone watching this video to decide which chapter this Deathwatch member is from. So let me quickly glue this in and I'll show you what options I've got with shoulder pads, and then you can decide in the comments what you think I should do for the original chapter of this character. So let's just put it in place there. So, options that I've got, and this is for anyone who's not aware, members of the Deathwatch are from all sorts of different Space Marine chapters. They go on a secondment to the Deathwatch for whatever reason, and their armour is painted black. They take the Deathwatch iconography on their left shoulder pad, and on their right shoulder pad they have their original chapter. So I have the choice of Dark Angels, so I've got the older shoulder pads and the newer Primaris ones. I have the choice of Ultramarines. Then I have Nova Marines, Iron Hands, White Scars, Raven Guard. Yep, Nova Marines again. Raptors, another White Scars. Minotaurs, I think it's Red Talons. Howling Griffins, possibly my favourite choice. Black Templars, and then Silver Skulls. So out of those, I want you guys to put in the comments what you think this guy would be good to represent the chapter from. So yeah, put it in the comments and I'll see when I get to the painting video of this what we've decided. So now, while that backpack and those other little details continue to dry, let's finish off this spear. So let's just carefully so if it's going to go that way around, I'm going to okay. So what I will do at the very end of the video, just so you can see this character a little bit clearer, I will, as I often do, put a slideshow of images. Right, actually that's gone a little bit. So I'm going to have to trim a little bit off the corner and edge of this. Am I on camera? No, I'm not on camera. Apologies if I've moved off camera suddenly. Okay, which way around was it? That way around. Let's turn that a little bit more. And the benefit of using the plastic glue and not any super glue is it actually is easier to tidy this up and cut it and fix it, in my opinion. Others may disagree. Okay. Oops. So move them to one side for now while I sort this out. I like the way that this Vigil Spear's turned out. It might not have the same iconography as the one on the Watchmaster that you can buy. That one is very much, it looks more like a Deathwatch one with the iconography, but don't mind that. It's always nice to have a different look to something, and it's a conversion, so the whole point is, whoops, don't drop it. I think I might add a little detail. Just lay that down a second. I might add. Okay, so what I might do, not right now, but I might add later on a little detail between the handle and the bolt gun, just like a strip of wire or something like that. But I'm going to leave it for now until I've kind of really thought about it. Okay. So ideally I'd want to let this dry a little bit longer, but I'm going to be impatient. I'm going to set this in. Okay. So I need to clean this section up a little bit more. Okay. Oh. Pushed too hard and the glue hadn't fully dried, so let's re-glue that. So my lack of patience got the better of me then. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. So let's put some glue in there. I'm going to let that soften slightly, and then I'm going to put some glue on this hand as well. And then I'm going to hold him nice and firmly in position, and then put sugar. Oh, okay. Always be patient with your glue. Don't rush it. Take your time. There's a lot of glue on this at the moment, a lot of solvent, so it is become quite flexible. I need to be careful. Take my time. that arm is annoying. Okay, that's... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's... Okay. I'm holding in the swears. Alright, let's take that bottom bit off. There we go. Right. Let's take my time. Be patient. Let's just push some of that plastic seam in. So this is what happens if you try and rush it and you're not patient. I need to be patient when it comes to this. I haven't been. But hey, that's the way it is. Okay. Right, so I need this to sit on something, on the base. So I'm thinking if I put in another bit of rubble onto this base, this will sit on said rubble. No, that's not going to work. Oh, got to slow down, got to take a moment. Okay. I mean, I could fast forward this bit, but it's warts and all. You can see it when it goes wrong as well as when it goes right. Let's just get this in place. So what I'll do, I'm going to get this in place, and when it is in place and happily sitting, let's get a little bit of blue tack on the base to hold this in the right position. Okay. Nope, I've gone and snapped it. Okay. Take my time. Move that blue tack. That's... So I just need to put that in place like that. Move that in place. Okay, so I will put a little bit of blue tack just behind this, just to hold it in the right place. Okay, right. It's quite a delicate position now. So I'm going to cool this, I'm going to let the glue dry, and I'm going to put some photos at the end of this video, just so you can see where the character's got to. Like I said, I have a selection of different chapters that this character could be from, so please drop it in the comments, any of the suggestions. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's John. I'll see you on the next video, and you've been watching War Games, Models and Other Hobbies.